Well, here we are at the beautiful Sleeping Giant State Park in Hamden, Connecticut. Beautiful location for a hike. I'm going to talk about the park today a little bit. Right across the street from Quinnipiac University. And we are going to do a little bit of exploring, something a little bit different, but I hope that you enjoy it. And we're going to head over to the little visitors kiosk over there and see what it has to say. So here's our kiosk that tells you about the park. Interesting, it's got a lot of information about wildflowers that are in the park. All kinds of information, a little bit of history about it. And your usual kind of boilerplate stuff. No mountain bikes on trails, trout management area, all kinds of things like that. And of course, a really nice map of the park, which I'll go about in some detail. And they do have handouts in here. You can grab one. I have one already. And we're going to talk about the trail system at the park. One of the really nice areas of the park is this open spot that used to be a pine grove. Trees were planted here back in the 1930s, I believe. A few of them left. There's a good shot of the head of Sleeping Giant and the chest. One of the sad things was in 2018 there was a major tornado that came through Connecticut, originated in New York State. And what happened was it just really destroyed all of this, all of the pine trees here. But the whole area has been completely renovated. It looks great. Volunteers and state park employees done a great job. And I'm sure the trees will grow back. More things change and more they stay the same. But a great place to come. You want a picnic, just hang out. Some parking over there. And it really, really is a lovely area. Now we're going to head up to the pavilion up here. Here is the pavilion at Sleeping Giant. Right now, very, very quiet. It's a Thursday morning. On the weekends, this place can be packed. That's one of the things I want to talk about is that the parking here is limited. There are different parking areas, as you can see the one way out there, the one I came in from the main street from our Carmel Ave. But there is limited parking. When they did do the renovation after the tornado, they put a lot of parking. I've got a bug flying in front of me. Hello there, bug. They put more parking over around the old pine grove. But this was a beautiful pavilion built back when the Conservation Corps in the 1930s put people to work, and they built this along with a lot of other things in the park, including the tower, which I'd like to talk about, the Tower Trail. So it's a great place. Very well rain protected. Looks like they put a new roof on very recently. A very extremely well maintained park. It really is nice. Connecticut State Park. So we're gonna look at the map and talk about a few things. Our map is a two-sided map. It is the trail map for Sleeping Giant State Park. And it goes over a few general boilerplate things. If you wanted to get a membership, only $10. Goes over some of the history of the Sleeping Giant Park Association. Different activities you can get into and trading posts in the park itself. It was a gift to the people of Connecticut from the Sleeping Giant Park Association. And some information on picnicking, trails, nature, park regulations, etc. And also a history of the sleeping giant, which is Native American history to it, in the Quinnipiac. The tower path, I'll talk about that in a little while when we go over the trail map, which is on the other side. There's also a legend of the history of the Quinnipiac people and what the significance of the mountain is, and other information if you'd like to be a volunteer. Very good stuff. Hey everyone. So here we are at Sleeping Giant, and let me just swivel this around a little bit. There's our park and our pavilion, and me. So I've been coming to this park, probably for a good 50 years, I'd say. Actually, probably longer. When I was a kid, back in the 70s, people would ride their bikes all over the place. And so this is probably 1973, 74, so that's 52 years ago. We would ride our bikes up here and go up to the park, go down the Mill River, which is behind us, and we just enjoy biking around. We'd bike through Quinnipiac College. Well, it was the college at the time, now it's the university. And we would just come up to this park. So I've been all over this mountain, and it's not a very large mountain. It gives the acreage here. It's only about 2 miles long, maybe 1.5 miles wide. And the whole thing is that people come here because it's a great tourist spot. One of the things is that people from Yale come up, and of course people from Yale are from all over the world, and Quinnipiac University, and a lot of people come up and they take the Tower Trail, which was designed by the Conservation Corps back in the 30s when they built the tower, and it's a very easy path. Everyone and their brother who's from around here or comes here, you take the tower path, you go up to the tower. It's really beautiful. You get a lot of great views. Problem is that this park is very deceptive, even though this isn't Wyoming. I mean, we're not in the Rocky Mountains, but it gives the illusion that hiking the trails here are easy. The Blue Trail system does run through the park. It runs right over the head. You can't see it from here. And you have to be a very experienced, I should say, hiker, because the grade is extreme. A friend of mine and I tried to hike up over the face one time, and it started drizzling, and the rocks just became a sheet of ice. We had to actually cut across, bushwhack to one of the trails, which I'll go over just in a minute. But people take the Tower Trail all the time, and then they go off on the other trails and think, oh, I'll just go hiking through these other trails. They're moderate to difficult. And I see a lot of people without any water. A lot of people also get stuck here. They get confused by the trail system, or by the trails. So the trail system is very well designed. So you do get, in the nature of the rocks around here, the rocks break apart. I'm not a geologist, but it's some sort of shale or something, and it breaks apart very easily. People have tried climbing up the face of the head, where they did some mining back in the 30s, and it's the trails are very difficult. You should be experienced when you come here. Like I said, the Tower Trail, kids go up it, people walk their dogs, everyone goes to the tower. But it's really the side trails that can be very difficult. So it's really prudent to be an experienced hiker and to know the trail system, which we'll go over. Here is our map. This map is pretty cool because it's semi-laminated, so it's not paper. It does have a coating on it, so it does have some protection. It gives a ton of information. So of course, we have our header here that tells us about the park, and of course, numbers to the DEP, and also of course 911 if there's an emergency. This park is surrounded by and bordered by a lot of roads, Mark Harmel Ave being the main road that comes in down here at the bottom. and Tuttle Avenue, which heads on the northwest side of the property. It looks like a bunch of spaghetti, all these trails. I think I'd like to just start by saying one thing. The red trails are really the key to this park. And what do I mean by that? If you get on a red trail, and I guess I should start by saying, if you're in trouble and it's getting toward dusk and you can't get out of the park, if you look here, every red trail, there's another one, there's another one. Let me focus in. There's another one. One up here. There. All the red trails terminate at a road or a parking lot. So if you're in trouble at night, or it's late in the day, if you get on a red trail, they all head north and south. You can get out of the park by just staying on a red trail. What people do is they wander off. Oh, I think I'll take the orange and maybe the blue, and the blue heads over to the head, and then you're in real trouble. So if you get stuck, all the red trails go north and south. They dissect the park. Each section of the park is dissected by the red trail. So if you're in trouble over here and you are going downhill, you'll eventually head to a parking spot. Or you'll head over to Mark Carmel Ave, which is a main road, and you call 911 if someone else is stuck or whatever the case might be. And along with all of our red trails, which are marked right here, we have our diamond, hexagon, triangle, circle, square, all marked out for us. There's the circle, square, etc. We have all of our east-west trails. We have violet, yellow, blue, white, orange, and green, and as well as other information on different kinds of trails and other different parts. Now, one thing about this mountain that's very interesting is if you go up to the center of the mountain, all right, there's the tower right there. This section of the mountain is a lower area than, say, the green trail or blue trail. And what people get confused is they head up the mountain, say they're crossing the red circle trail, and they start heading down because they're in this wetland area, and they think they're going down the other side of the mountain over to Tuttle Ave on that side. And then they start going back up to the blue trail. This is very deceptive, and people get kind of turned around, and while it's so easy to see on this map, oh, there's everything, people can get lost. So it's really important that you get one of these maps or go online and download the map. And it just gives you a better layout of where you are. And like I said, I'm going to go over the different parking areas. This is the main area that we're close to right now, where that kind of black arrow is where I'm sitting right now in the pavilion. Mill River goes along the old dam. And we're going to take a look at all these different parking areas, because you may come here and you'll notice that this parking area is packed, which is out there. And even the area by the old pine grove is full of cars and there's nowhere else to park. There's some of these other parking areas, and by the way, these trails on the back side, the northwest side, are very nice. You may find that it's easier to access the park from these different areas, especially this one. I'll go over that as well when we head over there. I call this the intersection. It's not its official name, I just named it because all the trails meet up here, and of course the blue trail heads over east and over into Wallingford, North Haven. But all the trails meet up, and you can take different trails. I'll just say right now, like I said, I've been on this mountain for 50 plus years, been all over this mountain. If you want a nice 10K hike, you can park down here and take the yellow trail all the way around to the violet, to the back side of the mountain, come all the way around. So you're basically hiking the base or near the base of the mountain all the way around. It's a great hike. I've done it in both directions. It's really awesome. and it's just a really good hike. So we're going to go over some of the parking areas. Like I said, here's the main one, which is right out in front of us. And then we're going to head over to some of these other ones and see what the parking is like, just so you get an indication if you've never been here and you want to get a good parking spot. And I just want to point out that I'm using my Zigzag camera stand. Thanks to my son Jeff for getting this for me. Really easy to use, great adjustable legs. I've only used it a few times. There's lots of features on it. Not a paid promotion. Just want to point it out that I'm using it, and it's great to use. So thanks again, Jeff. Here we are at the parking lot by Ridge Road, which is right down the road. By the way, there's a small old driveway that you'll see that goes to nothing. There used to be a house there, I guess. That is not the parking area. And as this car goes by, I'll turn the camera. I want to make sure I don't get his license plate. All right, so there's our red trail over there, our access. And we come around the other side. Watch out for these hairpin turns on Mark Carmel Ave as you park and you pull out of the parking area. And here is one of our trail markers. As you can see, we've got some the old Dickerman carriage road. Dickerman House is right down the street here in Mark Carmel Ave. And it gives you, there is our circle red trail. Goes up and over the mountain. And sorry, there's a missing dog. I'll do some, female shepherd. Grew up with shepherds, beautiful dogs. I didn't know this would be here, but if you are missing a dog, there's some contact numbers and some information. I hope they find the dog. Missing since April 22nd. But here's our parking lot. No one here. Looks like it fits about maybe a dozen cars. So, and trailhead there. We're at the far end of the park, Chestnut Lane parking area. There's a couple of cars here already. And we'll walk right up. This is what I call the intersection because we've got multiple trailheads here. Got the green, violets over there, ski trail. And you can go in all different directions here. Yellow goes off to the left. There's a white trail there. And of course our trusty map right here. What's interesting is that right here, put my finger there, where the red circle trail comes down, it does not indicate any parking, but it does on this map. Right there. You see the difference? That one? It is not there. Also, very interesting, it's not on either map, but right here, there's a small parking space. Maybe one car can fit there. Of course, I'm up here, right here at this parking. They also have a little parking area up the road over in that direction. But this is where the park really ends. All the trails converge to this point. Of course, you could go down and take the blue trail out and head over to North Haven Wallingford area, Quinnipiac Trail. But we're at this parking area. And as you can see, more maps, very handy. Please stay on the trails. Unless there's an emergency, you have to bushwhack. But very quiet day. I just saw some hikers come through. And this is the beautiful Sleeping Giant Park. And of course, we also have a horseback trail here. As it goes around the backside with the ski trail, it is quite rugged. Most of the paths are fairly easy. Well, at the beginning they are. So this is the deceptive thing about the park I was talking about. Oh, we'll just go off in these trails and it looks really easy. Well, you start going up And most hikers who are not experienced can find themselves in a bit of trouble. So once again, we want to be cautious, have fun, but also make sure we know where we're going. So we're on the north side of the trail. We're over here in this blue parking area, which from the street isn't marked at all. There's a car here. I don't want to get their license plate. And one of our trails goes off. There's the horse trail right there, horseback trail. But as we walk through this state barrier, we're going to see that our connection to two of the red trails is right ahead of us. So on this parking area, the Tuttle Ave parking area, by the way, Wentworth's Ice Cream is right down the road if you want to get some ice cream. Then we come up to our little stand information. Once again, we've got maps in there. Please stay on the trails, and we can go off on this trail. The other interesting thing is, as I look up, I can see from here the two markers for there's an intersection coming up for both the Hexagon and the Diamond Red trails. Like I said, if you go down one of the trails, you will end up back on one of the roads. This is not a trail. This is some sort of, I don't know what it is, some dumping thing from a long time ago. They've got big granite blocks over there. But this is the trail that will head up and connect you to the park system. In this parking area down here, there's a woman getting in her car with a dog. I don't want to put her on camera. You get to look at my feet. You probably could fit maybe 6 cars if you're lucky here. So it's not really that large of an area. But this back side of the trail over here, where my parking blue thing is, on this trail, this Diamond Trail is a beautiful trail to see the back side of the mountain, Mill River, and the head of Sleeping Giant. So it's a great trail. So I'm just doing a little backtracking here. I was at the second parking area on Tuttle Ave, and actually there's 2 parking areas at the second parking area, which is interesting. On our map it just lists as one little blue circle. There's actually 2 here. There's one off to my left that I was just at. But once again, we have our little designation, tells us where we are. Also, we've got maps as well. Nice little walkway up here to go to our maps. Pretty well stocked. We have our horse trail, and then once again, I know I beat it to death here, our red trails that dissect the park. And this is actually, that's pretty tough to, it looks like a circle. Let's see what it is. It is a circle. For a second it looked like a hexagon, but it's not. I'm not sure what that is. Circle O. But there it is, it's marked. And you can go off there, head to the other side of the mountain, or on this section of the park, you can pick up the Violet Trail, which goes around the base of the park on the north side. So this is one of our double parking area on one part of Tuttle Ave, which is right here. We are at the second parking area here on Tuttle Avenue. Pretty good sized lot. You might be able to get a dozen cars here or so. And once again, we have our little information stand with maps. Kudos to the team here. Fully stocked with maps. That is awesome. So here we are. We are right, get the sun glare out, right there. There are actually 2 parking areas. There's a little tiny one over there, and of course this one that I'm in right now. And our trail goes off into the woods. Once again, this one, I mean, it's easy to find. It's right on the road. But like I said, each area does have these maps, very informative. I don't think anything in the backside. Nope, just brown stain. Someone left their walking stick. Yeah, I think it's a little old. But here, once again, we have our trail map system indicating where we are. And once again, here's another area. Got some glare on my phone. Where we can end up back on a road. Car just went whizzing by. So if you're on a red trail and you are unsure, you can go back down to the other side of the mountain and get out. Very, very important stuff. This is our last parking area for the park. This is on Mansion Road. Got a little hairpin turn here. No designation that this is a parking area from the road. Once you step off, you'll see that there's some markers on this tree. And we'll just head up here. This one does not have any information. Well, other than what it says right there, but it's not like the other ones where we had maps. So luckily I've got my trusty map. So we are right up here at the top. That little blue P. And I'm going to be honest with you. Honesty is the best policy, right? I've never been here before. All my years, here's our Mansion Road sign. All my years of coming to this park, lazy, right? No, I just go to the main, right off Mark Carmel Ave. I know it like the back of my hand. Why should I come all the way out here? Well, try something new. You still get access to the park. So you've got the red trail there. You've also got the horseback trail you can get on. And once again, red trails go across the park. Remember that little one car parking area on this side of Mark Carmel Ave? We are now on the other side over here, and you can get across the park. I can't stress that enough with this park. If you get in trouble, stay on a red trail. You will eventually end up outside of the park. I mean, I can hear landscapers down the street, and there's houses right there. You will end up back in civilization. If you're wandering somewhere in the center of the park, and when you get up to the chest and the head, there are some serious climbs. I mean, this is easy peasy. I mean, you could drive up this. But I just want to point that out. This is the last parking area. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 over by the intersection. And then, of course, an unofficial one, too. So, this is a great park. It closes at sunset, as you can see. Dogs have to be unleashed, no mountain bikes. And, of course, you're not going to drive your car up here. So, that is Sleeping Giant Park. I hope you enjoyed it. Another videos we'll start exploring the trails. But for right now, this was just the basics of the park itself, where to park, how to access, and how to enjoy the park. We'll walk down the trail here a bit. Back to my car. And there we go.